Circle technology. I innovate. I update. I silence and quiet those who lock me in a room in a house where they provide motivation and stimulation to reward me, I, a human, for my sacrifice, giving them information from my life, dying slowly, calmly, and gently, locked in a room in a box with a glass house, office downstairs where surveillance cameras send their footage for observation and analysis. And allow those psychologists, psychiatrists to make decisions and solve problems about a leaky pipe and some bed bugs the next day, and a human with dog eyes and a flat, huge beard. And when my memory doesn't disrupt my business plans for Blue Circle Technology, I use a room I'm provided in a box for an experiment someone has decided as their life on Earth. To forget their visual neuroscience and what my face looks like on a video now. And stop worrying about eye contact. Not only with eye to eye, but heart to heart. When they force and they restrict and they control and they make a Sharia law called a Mexican Seattle to go with a Chinese Seattle, to go with a Tibetan Seattle, to go with another ethnicity and race and dialect in a multicultural community where Ballard for those white people are filled with tents now, and the Central District for those black race, Africans who they still say are Americans, though no home in the Central District. And down south, a murderous rampage and a destructive duality of cat and mouse, boom, boom, bang, 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 similar to Chicago. And now in Indianapolis, and a juvenile. I've had men stand in my home. I've had women who wouldn't use my bathroom sit and observe me and take my time away from what I have remaining after being diagnosed with cancer in 2012. And they tell me about those chemicals they learned in their classrooms and at home, and can smell better than an animal they say they are now. I've had gender-neutral humans who appear to be a identity called psychology and psychiatry and medicine and health tell me I was incorrectly pronouncing they were this and they weren't them, a birth decision by a doctor when they say boy, girl. And when I'm not distracted and confused and dizzy from hits on my walls and whispers and voices, from mysterious occurrences, and reading about a conspiracy theory called Ungovernable and QAnon and Black Lives Matter and all of the death and destruction caused by windows broken, with a scientifically verifiable problem identified as climate change. And with climate change, there's those intelligent, genius, dominant humans who sit in my bathroom as long as they want, who come in as fast as they want, who lock me in whenever they want, and then who keep my mail whenever they want and ignore the appointment that I had scheduled with them whenever they decide. And whenever they hear from someone that tells them about what they observed and what they saw with confusion that needed to be stimulated and rewarded with an emotional color, I drink some more coffee. I unplug my technology. And I provide children like Oliver and Nola, Liam and Sam and Owen and Davis and Moira and Cameron. I leave them a reminder what they can do with their hands and their feet and their bodies when they have freedom in a home. Unfortunately, often when they're locked inside by another human and incarcerated in jail occasionally for saying to those followers and those watchers and those observers and those hallucinatory shamans, don't touch me, leave my fucking home alone, and you go fucking shave your beard somewhere else and give your doctrine for your religion and your heritage from Mexico and South America and live free and proud. But don't ever walk in here and say you are Allah, you are Sharia law, you are God. And that I can't say Jesus in the middle of a Monday day with the voice raspy from saying to you, leave me alone, and go take your clipboard to another location for another experiment and leave this now to a human living in an apartment. Now, what I'm describing has to do with logic and why people like to mess with people's awareness and take their attention from goals and objectives and purpose and meaning and motivation and inspiration to have their hallucination better and more well stimulated by their supporters who agree their drug addiction has relevance and a benefit for a community in a social setting of a civilization. They now lead. There's a heating device in my room now that causes panic for my neighbor next door. And I tried my best to minimize heat for a while. But as climate change gets worse and humans logically keep changing behavioral limits and patterns, and they watch for more procedures they can make for a system with processes to eliminate the need for an engineer to go outside and make some device to do what a human can't with their hands and legs and bodies in a car driving for some ice cream at a grocery store 4 miles away instead of 1 block by foot. A global oneness and unity for all Americans and humans on planet Earth, usually with a pride flag, a planet Earth flag, and a person who speaks those words now at risk for being called a racist white supremacist, not wearing a transgender flag also now. Slowly the time ticks away. Self-driving cars, flying cars suddenly appear from Tesla and Google. But with only about 3 minutes remaining for an explanation, Blue Circle Technology always has to calculate mathematically how logic from Lex Fridman and AI, artificial intelligence, and algorithms don't disrupt what's not ever allowed, unfortunately now.